Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to NPL New South Wales men's preliminary final day from Christie Park. One step to the grand final for Spirit FC and Rockdale Illinden. Last year's premiers looking to reach back-to-back grand finals and knock off the team that have taken their title along the way. 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. Okay, cool. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to NPL New South Wales men's preliminary final day from Christie Park. One step to the grand final for Spirit FC and Rockdale Illinden. Last year's premiers looking to reach back-to-back grand finals and knock off the team that have taken their title along the way. Spirit's fairy tale run has had one happy ending already. Remarkably, though, the one stage they haven't graced under David Perkovich is a grand final. A win here, and they'll have the chance to become the first team to achieve the Premiership Championship double in the top tier of New South Wales football since Sydney Olympic back in 2018. Alex Molchanoff, delighted to be along with you for this massive occasion on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel. Let's have a look at the teams for this grand final qualifier. 3 changes from the final day for Spirit after their 1-1 draw there against Mount Druitt Town Rangers with the premiership already wrapped up. Chris Marks resumes in goal. He has not missed a game this season. In front of him, the back 3, Grant Cornwall, Jamie Pashevsky, who's in for Brady Smith, and Simon Nicholas. Corey Kavanagh expected to line up as one of the wing-backs with Jordan Perez back into the team on the left. Frankie Lucevic and Andre Takami, the midfield duo, with Wigan pushing forward alongside Takumi Afuka to support Harry Keys, making his 8th start of the season, trying to fill the boots of the departed Yu Akubo. For Rockdale Illinden, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. For Pani Nikas and Paul D, no changes from the team that knocked over Blacktown City on a fairly uneventful night, it must be said, for an elimination final. Isaac Danzo's goal in the 6th minute, enough to get them through here. Nick Soros resumes in goal. A back 4 of Hunter Elliott, Braden Sorge, Blake Rasciuto and Giorgio Speranza. A midfield 3 of Lockie Constable, Isaac Danzo and Chalakian. The front 3 are fearsome. Moody Najjar had a fine night on Wednesday. He starts on the right. Ali Orglar off the left, with the competition's Golden Boot winner again, Alec Urasevsky, leading the line, looking for his first goal in 9 games, his longest run without one since the COVID pandemic. Well, if you want action, you've come to the right place. The game between these two a couple of months ago here finished in a scoreline of 6-3. Spirit running out winners that day, but Nick Soros went off with an injury after just 15 minutes. How much would things have changed had a couple of things gone Rockdale's way that day? They're posed to give us the answer here. Looking to return to the grand final where they had their colours blown by Marconi last year. Redemption, a driver for them. Is this the last dance? Only time will tell. They're hoping it's not the final soiree. We are underway. Spirit in their yellow and black home kit, kicking from left to right in this first half. Rockdale in the home red and black of their Macedonian heritage. We didn't have to wait long for the goals in that game that finished 6-3. Spirit led that game by 4-0 at half-time. Rockdale missed a couple of big opportunities just before the break. Again, they feel would have swung the fixture in their favour. Rasciuto and Sorge preferred as the central defensive pairing again today. Rockdale can be heartened by the fact that they've got a pretty good record in this grand final qualifier over the past 5 years. Winners by 3-1 against Sydney United a year ago. Winners by 3-0 against Sydney Olympic back in 2020, that COVID-affected year. Urasevsky and Pashevsky, the former teammates at Rockdale, will be pitted head-to-head as Chalakian dives forward, gets the cross away. Oh, it's blocked behind by Takami. First set piece going the visitors' way. The gentle sunshine lighting the pitch late on this Sunday afternoon. Not too used to these 5 o'clock kickoffs in the NPL New South Wales men's competition. Usually the preserve of the women, but it's given us a gorgeous backdrop for this big occasion. At this most picturesque of parks that Christie Park is. labelled the Arctic Circle a while back. It's still got a frosty little chill blowing from behind us in our commentary position on the western side. Some would call it golden hour. Spirit are hoping it's that today. Reminder, this is do or die. We need a winner today, so if we are level after 90 minutes, we will have half an hour extra time to try and split the teams. If they can't do it over that period, penalty kicks will decide who makes the grand final. Plenty of football to go before that, though. Rockdale have started this game pretty fast, but they're passing just not quite on the money. Harry Keys has got a big battle on his hands today. The experienced duo of Sorge and Rashuto have come together as a needs must. And Urasevsky, who loves occasions like these, thumping it into his opposing skipper, Grant Cornwall. Right in front of the committee. We're making a fine noise on this Sunday. Chalakian close to that one. Kavanagh got up. Najjar with a creative effort. Never threatened Marks' goal. Spirit have been waiting a while to get back into a grand final when they were promoted in 2022. They were knocked out in the first week of finals football. Have to go all the way back to 2009 when they won a grand final against Parramatta. 9-8 from the penalty spot. Hoping today's not filled with that sort of drama. The team they beat to progress, Rockdale Illinden, who were the premiers of the New South Wales Super League as it was then. Spirit getting their first win against Rockdale since their promotion to the top tier last time they met. Actually had some disciplinary issues against Rockdale over the past couple of years. Led by a goal to nil here a year ago. Then had two men sent off, and Blake Rashuto got a winning goal for Rockdale in the 89th minute. Spirit will be hoping the more recent of the fixtures is the one which repeats itself. Here David Perkovic, who often becomes my co-commentator here at Christie Park due to the proximity of our FX mics to the two technical areas. Reminder as well that you can catch all the behind-the-scenes action today with the UBF boys. Let's go to @NPL NSW. Some pre-game chats with Chris McStay and David Perkovic. McStay available off the bench today. He came on during the elimination final against Blacktown City. It was a game Rockdale controlled from start to finish. Blacktown weren't able to get at them. Missing trio of their big attacking stars. Spirit have got to find a way to goal today without the goals of Yua Kubo and Michael Cottestabo, who's out suspended. Perez striking towards goal. Scored the second of the 6 between these two back in round 24. Free kick which caught young Ronan Mulgrew by surprise. He's on the bench again today. Sure, he's hoping he's not called into action quite as quickly as he was that day. We saw a lot of this from Spirit in that game back in round 24, pressing high, looking to win the ball back as quickly as possible, but they are all too aware of the threat Rockdale offer in transition, not least through this man, Ali Ogla. Chalakian was spectacular in that loss. Some pick for player of the match in a losing team. Such was the industriousness and quality of his display. Isaac Danzo, who was the standout in the elimination final on Wednesday. You can hear the cheers from the Spirit bench. They know how important it is to put pressure on Rockdale in that sort of area, but they've been allowed to slit Speranza in behind, and the flag was up. The left fullback stepping just a moment too soon to boos from the travelling committee. They're in fine form on Wednesday. They've travelled in good number here. Putting on event buses to ship everybody up. And Urasevsky, ever the opportunist. Wanted to see if Eric Saba would qualify that ball as being in play, given Cornwall did flick it back to his goalkeeper. Common sense refereeing, I'd say. Constable, not the tallest of men, but he was allowed to win that one in the air without too much issue, as Pachevsky just helps Urasevsky over. It's his first tumble of the day, the Rockdale skipper. Still as full of pace and running as ever. The fact that he has been on this dry streak in terms of scoring makes the first half of the season's form look even more impressive. 22 goals in the opening 20 rounds of the season.
Coming on, man, coming!
Won the Golden Boot again by a commanding margin. Can they pick him out here, or will Danso go for goal? Measuring it for Najjar! First big chance of the preliminary final, and Najjar has headed wide from about 6 yards. Don't know if they'll get too many clear cut opportunities than that, Rockdale. Gorgeous ball from Danso. As though his quality needed any more emphasising. But Najjar was just not picked up, and that is a worry for the Spirit coaching staff in the early stages. You will not be able to take your eyes off this one as long as it goes. These are two teams that only know one way, only have the attacking gear. They have relied upon it. Only Apia Leichhardt have outscored either of these two squads. Their preliminary final in progress against Marconi. You'll find that game where you found this one on the Football New South Wales YouTube page. Just kicked off in the second half out there at Lambert Park. And a healthy crowd has gathered here at Christie Park, befitting the occasion. It's been a season full of firsts and milestones for Spirit FC. A very good view of Urasevsky and Cornwall, the two skippers coming together right in front of us. Wigan with a risky throw towards Afuku, who's done well to reel it in ahead of Constable rather. Nicholas stepping past the press of Najjar. Prosciutto stepping high to win the ball off the toe of Keys, who's struggled to get a look in the very early stages. Constable. The ball to Chilakian. Nicholas just got a touch, which prevented the ball from flying through for the number 10, and Afuku with a clean nutmeg on Danso. Referee Eric Saba waited. The advantage didn't come, and so the free kick and the whistle's blown. You can hear the conversation happening right below us between Perkovic and Matt Harris. Spirit very much of the opinion that that was an early booking that should have been given to Isaac Danso. This is where Spirit want to play the game, with the ball in Rockdale's half, giving them very limited opportunity to get the ball forward to those dangerous front three. Although you can see Ali Oglar and Mudin Najjar both sitting quite deep to support the defence. Rockdale don't want a similar start to last time out, as Kavanagh's boot was just a little high. Getting very close to the head of Blake Risciuto. Kavanagh, after conceding the free kick, takes the ball right along the touchline to win it back. He's just frantic. Neither of these teams fully into their strides, but it might be a matter of who can take these big moments better. Already, Rockdale have misplaced a chance through Najjar. Rusevski dogged in his determination, run into the firm figure of Jamie Paszewski. What a turnaround in form he's had this season. Had dropped out of the top tier of New South Wales football for a season before David Perkovic picked him up. Been one of the first names on the team sheets. Needed Frankie Lucevic back there just to lend a hand defensively, and now Keys is in a foot race with Hunter Elliott. Turns smartly away from trouble. Can't say the same of Simon Nicholas. Don't see mistakes like that too often from him. Not been his brightest start to this preliminary final. Might give Rockdale a chance to get forward again through Ali Orglar. The aforementioned Paszewski in the way. Speranza. Chalakian, gorgeous waits on the pass for Orglar. Speranza was trying something tricky with a dummy. And Chalakian goes flying into Cornwall. I don't think he was too worried about whether he got the ball or not. He did collect that, but he also collected plenty of Cornwall. You almost don't need my voice. Technical areas are both providing plenty of commentary. You expect nothing less. This is such an important occasion for both of them. Rockdale without silverware after winning the premiership last season. This their last chance. They've missed out on Australian Championship qualification because of the form of Spirit, who even David Perkovic admitted at one stage late this season he didn't expect them to be challenging for the title this year. They've done more than that. They haven't quite started this occasion as they would have liked. Quarter of an hour gone and Rockdale have had the better of this game.
Jamie, too far over!
Najjar. Clever bit of footwork from Elliott. You do wonder if Rockdale just look a little bit sharper in these early stages, whether it's the occasion or the fact that they played on Wednesday night. I don't think anyone's suggesting the quick backup is an advantage, but given the long season that both these clubs have gone through, 30 games of league football plus cup action. Pre-seasons for these two clubs started all the way back in November of 2024. Spirit, because of their involvement in the championship, are at the very least going to be playing until the end of October, and that's, or in fact, the middle of November, and that's if they don't make the quarterfinals. Wigan is looking to a Fuka at the top of the area. It was well blocked by Constable, who's covered plenty of ground in the early stages. Jurasevski. Just moments like that from both teams in critical areas. It's been the story of the game so far. Keys timed his run, Sorge forced to chase, and Risciuto poking the ball clear to the advantage of Speranza. And you'll see Rockdale want to go forward as quickly as possible. Chalakian very much their brain as well as their heartbeat. Just looking to slow the tempo a fraction, and it is only a fraction. Spirit's press only allows you to do that. Chalakian diving at the feet of Paszewski this time. And he's won his team the throw right in front of their travelling support.
What's the man coming in?
Rusevski, those who know the competition know this is part of his bag of tricks. Well, that one was a little close to marks, and Ali Orgla is going to go into the book. It's a silly booking to pick up for the Rockdale winger. Sticking a leg out in front of Chris Marks, which all players know.
Chris, when we play, it's got to be quicker.
It's going to be penalised as long as the referee catches it, and Eric Saba did. First yellow card of the semi-final comes after 17 minutes.
It's more about getting in the box. With and without the ball. It's all about attack.
Just got to be careful, Ali Orgla. He's already been sent off twice this season. That's on the back of only 3 bookings outside of the red cards. That was his 4th.
Get closer to the ball, guys.
Rockdale riding the energy of their travelling support in the early stages. Danzo. Constable. Said on Wednesday night during their win over Blacktown City, at different stages they looked closer to their 2024 Premiership winning form, and they've started this game in the same fashion. Urasevsky to pick his way through the defence. Risciuto is all over Keys every time he's near the ball, and he's won another free kick.
He's got ball side. Why would he hold it? He's got ball side. Why would he hold it? Hasn't 50, he's in front. What's the game, mate?
Apologies if you're picking up any of the language coming through on the effects mics.
One extra on the right.
Wigsy, you got 2 there, Wigsy.
Game awareness and cleverness of Risciuto has got Rockdale an attacking opportunity from the set piece. Not Chalakian's best ball. We saw a bit of that on Wednesday as well. His radar from the dead ball was just off a little. It's almost looking better with the ball moving for him in open play. Perez was checked by Chalakian, but the referee says they're coming together rather than anything untoward. Spirit will have to settle for a throw. And Jordan Perez, who has had his injury battles this season, is still prone on the turf. Eric Saba over checking on his well-being. He's recovered from patellar tendon surgery. Did so in quite remarkable time. One of the hardest workers in the gym, Jordan Perez, across the competition. Just would have been a leap of the heart of a few on the Spirit bench, and Perez is only just realising now he's not secured the free kick for his trouble. He'll take his time wandering over to take the throw. One of the beauties of football. A player as short in stature as Brendan Chalakian can leave such a massive mark on every game he plays. He's doing it both the attacking and defensive sides of the ball in this opening 20 minutes. Spirit getting set for a long throw. Risciuto climbing highest above Frankie Lutovic this time. Urasevsky trying to poke it over the top. Kavanagh aware that was the likely move. Urasevsky has been leading that press. There's an acknowledgement they don't want Spirit to settle on the ball and be able to build up from the back. Gorgeous bit of skill from Chalakian. It's the second of a couple of nutmegs we've seen. Giorgio Speranza and Ollie Wigan just having a conversation off the ball. Speranza was less than impressed with something a little bit late. There is plenty of feeling about this game. What's that saying about familiarity breeding contempt? Feel the recency of the last fixture and how important that was for both teams' seasons is lending to some of the early tension we've got here, along with the occasion, along with the opportunity to qualify for a grand final. Orgla. As Rockdale continue to push forward, searching for the first goal of this game, and Danzo's there. Less favoured foot, a little off balance. And determined defending from Kavanagh, who got across to block. Rockdale bench have been pacing the technical area, but not had too many instructions being barked out. They haven't needed to be. They've started this game so superbly. Just looking for some reward on the scoreboard. Chalakian. Deep, a tester for marks, but he claimed it fairly comfortably. It's one of the players that's ridden the journey through promotion to the top of the NPL New South Wales, Chris Marks. Speranza, brilliant. Orgla. Najjar, second chance. Brilliant block from Nicholas. Danger not clear though for Spirit. Ball recycled through Elliott. Perez there to make sure the ball didn't find its way back into the penalty area, at least not yet. Spirit under fire at home. Can the defence stand up? Only Marconi's was stingier over the course of the 30-game regular season. Long throw towards Rashuto, bounced off Sorge, who I don't think was anticipating that the ball would reach him. Key's presence forced Speranza down more than his action, and now they're stretched at the back, Rockdale. Fuka just with a little too much weight on the pass. Keys chasing it right to the touchline. Constable clever enough to get back in there. This is a big game for Harry Keys. I've been prepared for the departure of Yua Kubo for quite some time, Spirit FC. Knew that he would be departing at some stage, whether it was during this final series or during the Australian Championship campaign. Knew that Harry Keys would have a big part to play during these spring months. Well, it's an unorthodox 1-2, and like Rashuto made sure that Pashevsky's little adventure didn't last too long. And now Ali Orgla is striding into space again. Free kick picked up by Eric Saba for a coming together through the middle of the pitch. And Alek Rasevsky is looking on in disbelief. I have to say, that almost escaped everybody because everyone was focused on the dangerous position that the Rockdale left winger had picked up. Spirit perhaps with a little bit of a let-off, but they'll feel that they're about due a decision to go their way. And funnily enough, we talked about Rockdale wanting to press high so Spirit couldn't build from the back. That's exactly what the free kick allowed them to do. And now Perez is in a dangerous position. Elliott holding him up, but he's got a much stronger opponent, so he just dives through him, and the deflection comes back off the left wing back and behind for a goal kick. Speranza. Well, I said Simon Nicholas had just had a couple of moments like that from a Spirit perspective, and Giorgio Speranza has been part of these big occasions so many times over the last decade or so. In Blacktown City, in Marconi colours, now in Rockdale Illinden strip, in his second season with the club. Pressure still affects all a little differently as Afuka gets that shot away. First save that Soros has had to make. Pretty straightforward one. Wigan diving in on Orgla and winning it fairly. Lucevic, there are tackles flying in everywhere. Orgla's got his wits about him and he's got the fire in his belly. Cornwall thumping that one more in hope than anticipation. It's won his team a corner. And so for the first time, all eyes turn to the southern end of the ground that Spirit are attacking as the sun begins to set over Christie Park. Incredible that 27 minutes have already passed. They have flown by. Rockdale barking instructions. And the header was up rather than out from Elliott. Risciuto gave it a helping hand, or a helping head, before Sorge cleans up the rest of the scraps. Energy oozing out of every pore of this game. When will that start to affect Rockdale in the legs, or will it affect Spirit? A few players who've been in and out of the first team with injury over the last couple of weeks. Harry Keys has got a big job. It was a nice first touch. Risciuto was determined not to let him go any further. The opening half hour, this is where it's looked as though the opening goal is coming from. A set piece or an attacking opportunity from a throw-in or the like. Wigan just waiting a moment too long, but we'll reset and do it again.
Harry, stay in the box! Stay in the box, Harry! Harry, stay in the box! Harry, stay in the box!
Not too often you see Takami get caught on the ball. It almost worked to his advantage. Did well to make anything of it, really. Saurus's distribution is quick and clean. And accurate to Najar, who just holds things up, waits for support. For the first time, both teams just seeming to take a breath in this preliminary final. Elliott felt he was blocked off, and eventually the referees come together and agree. Jordan Perez, who has been in the wars himself in this opening half hour, that's understandable. His feelings of frustration. He obstructed the run of Hunter Elliott, there's no doubt about that. Now the delicate balancing act for both teams. How to ensure you stay right on that red line without losing your head for a moment, without losing concentration or doing something silly that will get your team into trouble. Ali Oglar's been waltzing right along that line, but he's got a chance to make the difference with this delivery from the set piece. Swinging in towards Marks. The header's there, and it's beaten away by Spirit's goalkeeper. It was a clean header too. Gorgeous ball from Oglar. Weighted it very nicely. It's earned his team a further corner. Right on the half-hour mark. Brendan Chalakian readies again. Oh, it struck the crossbar. Risciuto on the rebound. Goodness me. Rockdale were that close to taking the lead. Danzo! Well, not quite a carbon copy of the opportunity that fell his way on Wednesday, but it wasn't dissimilar. Couldn't quite control as he would have liked this time. This is where they want Ollie Wigan, pushed up in the absence of Connor Starbo today. Ball to the opposite side, just missing that last bit of quality at the moment, Ollie Wigan. Only takes one chance, only takes one moment. So good at creating opportunities, Wigan. Sometimes the one criticism levelled at him at times is just that final ball. Elliott. I'm not sure how much Simon Nicholas caught of him, but certainly the challenge was flying in, and so the Spirit player is shown a yellow card. Hunter Elliott is causing some real headaches for Spirit down that far touchline. It's actually the Illinden fullbacks at the moment that are having the bigger impact on this game than Spirit's Two wing-backs coming out of the back five. Nicholas becomes the first Spirit player in the book of the evening. Orglar, about 5 yards to the right of where he took the last one. It's accurate again, just over the head of Chalakian, clattered away off the head of Pashevsky. And then flicked on and out of play by Takami. Mid-season signing from Wollongong Wolves, hasn't his influence been so important? The absence for so long this year of Corey Kavanagh. Chalakian! Mesmerizing feat. Had the Spirit defence on their heels. He did manage to work a yard for himself. Just not able to bend it back on target. Best opportunity for Rockdale since Munir Najjar's header after about 10 minutes. Also struck the crossbar, although that was directly from a corner. Not sure whether that was by design from Chalakian. He was crying for the throw. I think he knew. The final touch was his. If you're a fan of sport, if you're a fan of football, don't care where you go around the world, don't get too many contests tighter than the ones that are dished up by finals football. It's one of the beautiful, unique things we have about Australian league football. Players love playing in these occasions, and Rockdale are standing up to it at the moment a little better than their hosts. Takami's seeing a lot more of the ball in that half of the field than he is at the right end from a Spirit perspective. Speranza's been getting forwards plenty from left back. Orglar. Fidanzo's popped up in an attacking area again. Chalakian was hoping for the challenge that never came. Risciuto fires it to the top of the box. Perez over the top of Munir Najjar. Play on, says the referee. Najjar's still prone on the turf. And Perez, who kept his feet, was able to sweep the ball away. As much as Eric Saber's got his work cut out in the middle, Matty Harris, the fourth official, is having both his ears chewed off at different times by both sets of coaching staffs. Urasevsky darting in field, wanting the free kick. It didn't come. Ball still might fall for Chalakian. Speranza takes it up. His touch took him a little wider than he would have liked. Chalakian. Those dancing feet again. Step over, then lunged into, make sure the ball made its way goalwards. Najjar just gives it back to him. It's not a bad idea either, because it comes up with opportunities like that, and Constable slides it wide. Brendan Chalakian is causing absolute havoc in the Spirit defence. He set up two clear-cut opportunities that first Najjar and then Lockie Constable have not been able to take. And Frankie Lucevic is down. Blake Risciuto keen to get the game back going because he wants Rockdale's good run to continue. They've got so much momentum behind them. And Lucevic has just gone down almost to give Spirit a breather. They're coming together just outside their 18-yard box as a collective. Just trying to center themselves with 10 minutes to go. They're being overrun, but crucially, they're not behind. It's the most Spirit have faced in terms of an attacking barrage of pressure that I can remember, certainly in the second half of the season. They've dominated most of the games they've played in. They dominated the game here in the first half against Rockdale last time they visited. It's been a very different story this time around. Perez. And Speranza wins the header and has space to run into to help out Ali Orglar. Chalakian, a whisker away, with Orglar crying for the ball to his right. There's a man who deserves a goal for his first half performance. It is Rockdale's number 10. Not to be yet. And all the noise you can hear away to our left is coming from the Rockdale Illinden supporters. They sense a goal. They'd love it to come before half-time. This time it's Danzo stepping in to win the ball back. Not really his go, but it's all hands on deck today. Speranza forward again, ageless. And Pasewski, who has been the rock upon which Spirit's defence has been built all season. He's having one of his finest displays in this big day. Takami takes out Orglar off the ball, and this is going to spark a little bit. Speranza getting right into it with Takami. And Orglar's got to be careful. Sorge is straight in to pull him away, knowing he's already on a booking. It was an out-and-out body check from Takami. A wry smile as he walks away from the scene of the crime. Eric Saba has been patient. Just the 2 bookings handed out to this point. Now the direction from the 4th official is to the Rockdale bench players standing up, joining in the appeals for further sanction. Orglar's away. He looks so engaged in the game today, Ali Orglar. Kavanagh, it was a scrappy touch, but it ended up finding the American midfielder Lucevic. His ball infield was a little less well-directed, but Afuka's picked it up anyway, and he's trying to catch Soros from a very long way out. Spirit encouraged by that. That's been about the extent of the chances they've been able to create in this game so far. One credit you can give to David Perkovic and his coaching staff is the fact that they have made this team so adaptable, not reliant on having the football and having to play one way. They have scrapped out results under similar circumstances. I'm not sure they've quite come under this amount of pressure all season. Certainly sustained pressure for almost an entire half of football. Chris Marks has not been beaten though. Twice Rockdale have failed to test him with opportunities from 6 and 8 yards. What a switch from Urasevsky, and Orglar's timed his run. Might look to goal himself here. He's turned inside Wigan, sizes up his options and blasts it over the crossbar. A wicked switch from Urasevsky. Must remember as well, he was suffering a hamstring complaint coming into this game 12 months ago, to the point where he didn't start against Sydney United. Came on with about 25 minutes to go. Might have been even later than that. Set up a goal within 5 minutes of coming on, and it turned the game. Funnily enough, Lockie Constable was the scorer of the equaliser against Sydney United last year. He has not scored a league goal since. He's missed a very, very good opportunity set up for him by Brendan Chalakian earlier in this half. Change of position has meant a drop in his goal return. He's just lost a little bit of that nous in front of goal. It's something you have to fine-tune as a player. Alec Urasevsky will tell you that. Pulled D and Pani Nikas have looked relatively calm in the Rockdale penalty area. So that's down to the way their team have played. Keys is trying to make something of a ball that was overhit for him. He's taken Risciuto into the fence that sits around the outside of Christie Park. But his defensive determination has set the base from which Rockdale can launch another attack. Constable. Searching for space, didn't find any, so turned back. And got the ball off Orglar, returns it to him. Rockdale playing with such tempo and rhythm at the moment that even their slight missed touches seem to be falling the way of a player in red and black. Cornwall's been key. Nothing less than you'd expect in this biggest of Spirit fixtures. Could argue it might be one of the most important in their history. Risciuto. Orglar has seen so much of the ball. Urasevsky strayed into an offside position. And just a moment more for Spirit to breathe. Within 2 minutes of the half-time whistle, plus whatever is added on, there hasn't been a whole lot of stoppages. This game has been played at a similar frantic tempo to their last clash here. There were 9 goals that day. We're yet to find the opener in the preliminary final. Speranza. It's been titanic. Orglar is all over the back of Kavanagh. Cornwall's ball over the top was not really towards anyone in yellow and black. It's been a bit too much of that, I'd say, for David Perkovic's liking across the first half. Yes, the pressure's been intense. Yes, there's been very little time, but there have been a few too many blind passes, you feel, from a Spirit perspective. Cornwall clattering the ball over that byline when his team a corner kick about 10 minutes ago. Nicholas said his touch today has not quite been as finely measured as it usually is. Urasevsky looking for a new football so that he can hoist it long. Kavanagh above Chalakian. And Lucevic turning blindly, but the touch found Afuka and he can take it back off him and continue the run forwards. Those two playing a game between themselves as Spirit get up past halfway, and then Afuka ran out of room. Urasevsky, another gorgeous touch for Najar. Chalakian. Pasevsky with a volley away. 2 minutes to be added on at the end of this first half. Ball across the face. Urasevsky usually makes that run and just held off given his contribution in the build-up. How often do we see goals in stoppage time of the first half in this competition? Spirit have to be as aware in the 46th minute as they were in the first. Pasevsky half away. Risciuto has got that sort of range, but haven't seen him try that sort of thing quite as often this year, playing as a centre-back. That one never looked like troubling Chris Marks. It is so tense. The noise and colour that surrounded this game in its opening 20 minutes or so have just dissipated. Nervous tension has a hold over this ground through both sets of supporters. Rockdale would hate to fall behind given how well they've played in this first half. Haven't got a reward for it yet though. Chalakian, is this the last roll of the dice? Urasevsky looking to use his pace to get past Cornwall. And it's almost a block tackle on Jamie Pasevsky, who was across in cover. The call from Paul D to Uro was flat. That's what that ball is. Rashido nods it on. Can they get a shot away? There's not enough red and black, too much yellow. And Harry Keys with a touch into space. Cleared agriculturally by Hunter Elliott. What an intense, frantic, frenetic first half we've had at Christie Park, but the scoreline still sits locked at 0-0. The best chance is going to Moody Najjar, who headed wide from 6 yards. And then Lockie Constable, who couldn't sweep home Brendan Chalakian's centering ball. The closest Spirit came was a Takumi Afuka speculative effort from about 40 yards, which ended up on the roof of Nick Saurus's net. Rockdale's goalkeeper, who had such a nightmare here back in round 24 when he was taken off after 15 minutes with injury, has had a much more comfortable time of it this time around. As much as Rockdale have dominated, as well as they have played, they have not found the opening goal yet. And Spirit can be heartened by that. The Premiers hanging on, clinging on over the first 45 minutes. We'll be back with you in about 10 or 15 for the second half, and who knows, maybe extra time and penalties here from Christie Park, where the scoreline at half-time is Spirit 0, Rockdale 0. Welcome back to Christie Park. The second half of this preliminary final about to get underway between Spirit FC and Rockdale, deadlocked through 45 minutes. Rockdale, the bulk of possession, the bulk of territory, but unable to find the breakthrough against this very sturdy, stubborn Spirit defence. They need to find some answers going the other way, though. Nick Soros had a very quiet first half. They will need that to change, the hosts, if they're to make their way into next Saturday's grand final at Jubilee Stadium. That's what's on the line up here. Leichhardt, we can tell you, are waiting there. A 2-0 victory in the Derby d'Italia against the Marconi Stallions at Lambert Park means that they will be back in the big dance for the first time since 2019. Who will meet them? Last year's premiers or this year's? Spirit have been written off time after time over the course of this season. They were second best in the first half. They've just got a way this year of making things work out for them. David Perkovic has resisted the temptation to make changes at the break. First entrusting the 11 he started to try and solve the problems posed by Illinden in the first half. Moody Najjar over the football. He had the best of the chances to open in the scoring in the first 45 minutes. Aleka Rasevsky and Brenda Chalakian posing all sorts of problems. There were 9 goals, as we keep reminding you, in the last clash between these two at this ground. Tonight's fixture is taking up a very different complexion. As we might have expected, the tension and the nervous energy of it all. Harry Keys seeing green grass really for the first time all night. It's a brighter start to the second half for Spirit. Bafuka almost catching the ground as he looked to try and fire that one back in towards Keys. A brighter start. You see the pace and the running power of Harry Keys. He's just not been able to turn with the ball at his feet whatsoever across the opening 45 minutes. Want to get him more good ball in that sort of area. The Spirit's press for the first 10 or 15 minutes looked pretty sharp. They were trapping Rockdale in areas like that one. The dynamism of it just went out of the game somewhat, and Rockdale really did get a stranglehold on possession and playing the game where they wanted. And they're attacking half of the pitch. Hunter Elliott was key early. He's found a lovely ball for Moody Najjar. Across the face of goal, he's broken it! He's broken the deadlock, Alek Kurasevsky, the man for the big occasion! It only takes a moment for the Baker. 9 games without scoring before tonight. But on this big day, this big stage, it was bound to happen, wasn't it? Beautifully worked down the right. Elliott's ball to the feet of Najjar, who preferred playing provider to his skipper. And the relentless barrage that Rockdale have put upon Spirit's goal finally burst the dam. After just a minute and a half of the second stanza. You can hear what it means to the travelling support. Funnily enough, as the favourites a year ago against Sydney United, they trailed at half-time. They don't want to come from behind this evening. I've been sure that's not going to be the case. David Perkovic's instructions tell you he thinks the ball is being moved too slowly. Needs some more pace coming out of the Spirit ball players. Lucevic trying to provide some of that, winning the ball back up high. Wigan. Spirit would love to strike straight back. They've done that a couple of times after falling behind this season. They've also got a knack for the dramatic. Christie Park has been the home of the late goal in this competition, not just this year, but over the past couple. Nicholas and Elliott getting stuck into each other. Key's not worried about that, just trying to fire it forwards. Speranza ungainly but effective. Prosciutto spins and clears. Said David Perkovic had resisted the temptation for change at the break. You do wonder how quickly his mind will turn there now. Saw Rockdale get the goal on 6 minutes on Wednesday against Blacktown City. Not quite as dominant from that moment on, but they did sit comfortably on that lead for the rest of the night. As Wigan leaves Chalakian in a heap on the ground. He was the heart and soul in the first half, but it's the talisman who's come up with the goods. The defining player of this competition over the past 2 seasons, Alek Jurasevski. Rockdale's superstar for much longer. Fitting that he's the one to open the scoring. Actually didn't score on this stage last year. Went scoreless through Rockdale's 3 biggest games last year in knockout football. The Waratah Cup final, which they dropped to Apia Leichhardt. The grand final, which they dropped to Marconi. And their winning preliminary final against Sydney United at the Illinden Sports Centre. He has etched his name on this fixture tonight, here. And now Rockdale is setting about doubling their lead.
Come on, lads! Come on, Spirit, let's go!
So what can Chalakian conjure from this free kick? He's got 5 bodies to aim for by my count. Prosciutto and Sorge are both up there. Jurasevski, Orgla, Najar. That's towards Sorge. Shevsky flying back there, losing his footing as well. Constable trying to measure it over the top, and Najar kept it from going behind for a goal kick. Both teams have been trying to set little traps for one another in that sort of area of the pitch, deep in their own defensive half, but with the football. Elliott committed as ever. Wanted the throw, didn't get it. Oh, has he? No. There was a look towards one another from the 2 officials. Much to the frustration of David Perkovic, the throw goes Rockdale's way. Jurasevski has been thinking about that goal for a while. Struck the frame of the goal twice a couple of weeks ago against Sydney Olympic. Fired into the side netting when 1-on-1 with Marks. Down that end. Towards the end of the first half of the league fixture here. Wasn't about to miss that opportunity. And he might get another here. Najar's ball almost found its way to him. Comes back to Rockdale's number 9. Strong play to hold off Perez and feed Constable. And now Chalakian went with power rather than precision. It was effective. Rockdale with another set piece. Chris Marks marshalling his troops, who have been under fire all evening. How do Spirit turn the tide? How do they wrestle back the momentum?
Turn it, sprint back in.
2 moments from Takumi Afukia, along with the 1 run at the start of this half from Keys, are about all they've had in the way of attacking opportunities. Kavanagh looked to have wrestled Prosciutto off the ball. Still the danger's there because Jurasevski's alive. Strike took a deflection off Jordan Perez, and we'll do it all again from a corner kick. That is the last thing Spirit would have wanted. Jurasevski getting the monkey off his back in this big game with plenty of time to go. We know one can quickly become 2 or 3 with him. Being on the near side, it's Orglar to deliver. Swinging in towards Marks, who punched clear. Almost landed right on his head. Danzo and Afuka had hold of one another. Chalakian lost his footing for a moment. And Orglar stayed forward. What a save by Marks. Smothers Orglar's effort. And ensures the lead stays at just 1. The running power of Wigan, which we haven't seen too much tonight. A lovely dinked ball from Kavanagh. Perfectly weighted for Afuka. Spinning a little wider than he would have liked. And he's brought down. It's a penalty. It's inside the box, says Eric Saba. How will Spirit wrestle back the momentum like that? Kavanagh with a perfectly weighted ball, and Afuka just waited for the challenge. It came, down he went, penalty awarded. We said for this Spirit team, it only takes a moment. And they will not get a better chance to equalise than one from 12 yards. How football takes you on a roller coaster ride over 90 minutes. It might well be 120 long this evening if Andre Takami, who has the football, can keep his cool. Interesting that it is the 23-year-old. Doesn't have a goal for Spirit yet. But in the absence of Cornestabo, with a Kubo now departed, it's he who has to take responsibility. Takami versus Soros. It's saved initially and then stuck in by Harry Keys. He's their new superstar. With just a moment of opportunism. And Christie Park is back alive with the sounds of the Spirit Juniors. Now, is this goal going to stand? Because the protests were about encroachment, and Eric Saba says goal. So we are all square in the preliminary final again. The battle of the competition's last 2 premiers, living up to the billing. Well, it was a striker's instinct, wasn't it, from Harry Keys? Not entrusted with the penalty, but once Takami's effort was parried, he was quickest to it. And lifted the ball into the roof of the net. It was a calmer finish than you'd think by first looking at it, because of the amount of bodies flying in, because of the fact that Soros was still very present. And now there's a question of Rockdale's legs, because coming off that big game on Wednesday night, will they run out of the fire and brimstone that had given them the advantage? Najjar ducks between 2 defenders. Nicholas clatters into him and caught plenty of the ball crucially. Keys just stepping too soon. Rasciuto judged it to perfection and ensured that the 20-year-old wouldn't steal him behind again. So a deep breath from both sets of players, not for long. There's half an hour of regular time to play here. Chalakian, they're producing another classic. It's he and Urashevsky. Just waited a moment too long, still he's got the ball at his feet. And Nicholas with a heroic piece of defending as Pashevsky comes in. And this is all really fired up. I'm not sure whether it was something that was said, but Pashevsky was certainly wanting to make his presence known. Not quite sure what sparked all that. Only the players. Chalakian so closely watched. He always has to be. So Rockdale resume their raids on Spirit's goal. Marks coming a long way and had to stretch and get something on that because Rashuto was waiting. Spirit know all too well the threat he carries from set pieces. It's an 89th minute winner here, but claimed all 3 points in 2024. Just sniffing about for another big moment. Rockdale's cult hero. Ball is very deep from Chalakian. What a leap from Uriseski. It's like he got on a ladder and jumped off that. Remarkable leap. And now it's the Rockdale bench encouraging their players just to keep the pace and intensity up. It's what had given them the advantage in this preliminary final. Spirit's penalty has just got them feeling better about themselves. It's got Harry Keys playing with more confidence. Running down lost causes and really providing a headache for Braden Sorge, who was clever enough to win the throw. Again, there's a coming together. It's almost like both sets of players are demanding it of each other. Perez, clever piece of play as he's lost his footing, and then Afuka taken off the ball. Elliott spinning and falling. And again, everybody comes together. Just gently this time. It's a Spirit free kick. Suddenly the committee, who were full of voice after the opening goal, it's just a tenseness, uncertainty that's descended over them as the ball is whipped in towards Pashevsky, away by Najar. Wigan trying to scrap it back towards Afuka. Ball looked to have started an offside position. The ball never really looked like reaching him. You can only imagine the energy this is taking out of the lots of players out there tonight, but neither coach came to make a substitution because all 22 out there are locked into the intensity, to the patterns of this game, and it has been such a unique one again tossed up between these two. As a neutral, watching Rockdale, whoever they have faced in big games over the last 2 years, is tending towards the spectacular. Producing again tonight, it hasn't always produced the best result for them, but boy, it's exciting. And Uriseski's alive again, and then giving Marks a big shove in the back as he protected that one over his byline. They share a word or two, goalkeeper and striker. And Chris Marks is keen to go on with it. Eric Saba getting in between them. Again, asking for calm. That has been his job as the referee tonight, as much as running the game. Might have said as many words as I have this evening. The referee said to manage this game with his personality as much as with his whistle. Kavanagh dumps Chalaki into the turf. That's 5 or 6 times his movement has brought a referee's whistle. The next highlight always just seems a moment away. Here tonight, Borgla waits, studying the football. A high line from Spirit, as they've done all year. Oh, and it swung in behind them. And then a big appeal for a handball as Danzo fires over. Ollie Wigan has gone down holding his face. Ball was struck with such venom. It's taken the wind right out of Ollie Wigan's sails. Rockdale felt they must have had a penalty coming their way. Not to be. ball has more than wobbled Ollie Wigan, it's rocked him. There's certainly an arm up near it. And now, just a point of interest, Alek Rasevski has been having some problems with his back over the course of the season. He's just having it stretched out by Brendan Chalakian. Rockdale physio making their way onto the ground now to try and loosen up that troublesome area for their goal scorer tonight. If you just joined us, you missed a fair bit. Alek Rasevski opening the scoring just after half-time. About 2 minutes all it took for Rockdale to break the deadlock after they've been so dominant in the first half. But Spirit, as they seem to every time they are written off this year, have somehow wrestled their way back into this game. Sharp ball over the top from Corey Kavanagh that invited Takumi Ifuka onto it. His run took him into the box. He was brought down. When Andre Takami's penalty was saved initially, Harry Keys was the quickest to the rebound to slide in his 4th league goal of the season, the most important of all of them. And he scored some pretty big ones. The late winner against Sydney Olympic took Spirit right to the brink of the premiership. Ended up sealing it a couple of weeks later against the Central Coast Mariners at this ground. Ifuka was on the score sheet that day again. We wondered where Spirit's attacking firepower would come from. They're missing 31 of their league goals from this season. Kubo off to Easton. We're going to be playing Asian Champions League 2 football this year. Of course, in Sydney FC's group last year. Michael Conestabo, whose latest of red cards for a second bookable offence against Mount Druitt Town Rangers has seen him suspended for tonight. They've missed him at times. They have fought and scrapped and clawed and kept themselves in this game against the odds, against the run of play for the majority of the night. Rasevski trying to make another difference, sliding onto his left foot. He's going to take a big ask from there with Simon Nicholas close in attention. But when you're as deadly as Alek Rasevski, you'll give it a go from anywhere. Rockdale encouraged, but Spirit looking more in the game since their equaliser, it must be said. And remember, to qualify for their last grand final back in 2009 in the old New South Wales Super League, they beat a certain Rockdale Illinden team who had finished as premiers that year in that competition and who were set to be promoted by 2-1 before going on to win a classic penalty shootout against Parramatta FC in the final. Those two giants of the Super League, now giants of the National Premier League in New South Wales. Orglar appeals for offside from the Spirit fans, but they're not worried about that. Rockdale, Rasevski again. Nicholas across in cover again. And Illinden have another corner. See Ollie Pufflet in the foreground there, riding each kick and header of this game. Along with the starting 11 out there. We've still not had a substitution with 3/4 of this game played. With Rockdale's 11 coming off Wednesday night's nail-biting win against Blacktown. Orglar swings it in deep. Chalakian, the shortest man on the field, managed to head it back into an area, cleared away by Nicholas. Launch back in. Rasevski offside. That was my feeling when I saw that ball hoisted back in. Just didn't look like he quite got himself back in line with the on-rushing Spirit defence. They've held their line well tonight. They have really absorbed an impressive amount of pressure. You have been out all day, and you're just coming back to this one. Result from the other game at Lambert Park between Arbia and Marconi. It's the hosts who have gone through to the grand final by a scoreline of 2-0 against their old rivals. If Rockdale were to face them again, it would be a replay, or a rematch, I should say, of last year's Waratah Cup final, which Arbia won by 3-0. Like Rashuto nodding that one out of play. This is the slowest this game has been played over the course of its 70 minutes or so. Might just suit Spirit as they make their way forward. Perez, not his best pass of the game, I think it's fair to say. Turned over rather cheaply. Brendan Chalakian doesn't often do things like that. Rusevski right on the toe of Marks, and again they come together, those two. Sharing a word with his old teammate Jamie Paszewski as well. They made their way back into their positions. Wigan bullied off it by 2 Rockdale players illegally. Spirit win another pressure relieving free kick right on halfway. Again, the fruity language getting through, we do apologise. I hope it gives you an understanding of the feeling and the atmosphere around this game tonight. Rockdale frustrated because they felt they had the game in their hands, particularly after getting the goal early in this second half. Spirit, that's being written off by some again, have answered again. Constable. Been waiting for his defining moment in this fixture, hasn't quite come yet. Chalakian. Giorgio Speranza, who was so key to everything Rockdale were doing going forward in the first half and has barely seen the ball in the second. He and Ali Ogla have been quelled as a threat. In fast contrast to the first half, where it looked as though every time they went forward they were going to create a chance down that left flank Rockdale. Lovely feat from Ollie Wigan. You see the athleticism and the trickery. And Brendan Chalakian, so often on the other side of officials' whistles like that. Just gets a taste of his own medicine from Ollie Wigan. Corey Kavanagh, 23 years of age, directing traffic in front of him. First time in a while we've heard the Illinden fans find their voice, trying to drive their side on. Just under 20 minutes remaining of regular time. A reminder that we need a winner tonight, so extra time and penalties if we're still locked at 1-1 or 2-2. It's been that sort of game. Could well finish that way. Lucevic, the American, who's made such a difference through the middle of the park for David Perkovic this season. It's a strike of desperation rather than patience that time around. Danzo as cool as ever, playing through Spirit's press and releasing Chalakian. Rusevski had stepped offside and so held his run. It's being indicated by Pat Zalecki, the assistant on the near side. I wondered if the intensity of the early stages might just take its toll on some of the players. I think we're starting to see that, given the drop in tempo of this game over the last 10 minutes or so. For Rockdale particularly, off the back of that big clash on Wednesday nights as Elliott goes to ground under the challenge from Perez. Got some heat from the Illinden supporters for his trouble. Rockdale have gone short from the free kick. We haven't seen them do that too much tonight. And Danzo with a rare misplaced pass. He blocks the return ball from Kavanagh. Nicholas. This was his trademark over the course of the year. It's a good switch. Gave Wigan something to run for. Speranza was well positioned. It's just waiting for its exclamation point this game. Kavanagh. Spirit playing with more of the football than they have seen all evening. Now you wonder whether the midweek off is just tilting the ledger in their favour over the closing stages. Oh, Rockdale running out of puff. Didn't make as much hay while the sun shone, both in a figurative and literal sense, during the first half. Just a solitary goal after half-time to Alec Rasevsky. Perhaps they'll be made to pay for their wastage. Keys go to ground. He was helped over by Rashuta, who I think was hoping rather than anything more legitimate that maybe that would be given. Fair challenge there from Lucevic, and Kavanagh's already found one good ball. Oh, it's spilled by Soros. And Rafuka, can he take it in? He's around everybody. The free kick has been blown. Referee said Nick Soros had control. Perhaps a little bit of a helping hand to Rockdale's goalkeeper there. Rafuka had an open net. Another moment on which momentum might well swing in this preliminary final. It is on a knife's edge. Not even the bravest of pundits now, I think, would be feeling confident about picking who comes out a winner here. Rockdale's early dominance has dissipated somewhat. Spirit have worked themselves back into this game. Looked improved in their composure on the football. Perhaps helped by a little bit of the sting coming out of Rockdale's press. A 9-goal thriller this has not been, but played with every bit of intensity and heat about the game. Sports in its best fashion tonight. Rasevsky goes to ground under the challenge from Nicholas. Again, the appeals are all from the touchline rather than the players. Clever touch from Keys for Afuka. Just getting Spirit out. And Elliott flew into the challenge. Afuka took it past him. Najar herring back in cover. And again he slipped past Elliott, twice in the same sequence. And Frankie Lucevic has time and space. Wigan running onto this ball. And flicked over the top by Risciuto. Another heart-in-mouth moment for the Rockdale supporters. You see why they love Blake Risciuto this much. The difference maker in both boxes. The Wigan season's been full of promise and running. Player that has gone to another level in 2025 after returning from injury midway through the season. As quick, as athletic, as technically sound as ever. Perez's ball in, Cornwall! Very good save from Soros. Ball was sharp up to his left and he got a big right hand over to beat it away. Wouldn't that have been fitting if Grant Cornwall was the man to score the winner? Beautifully picked out by Perez. Still an inch or so closer to the corner, and maybe Spirit would have turned the game on its head. Ball in from Cornwall. It's not really where they want him with the ball. Rather him be on the end of the crosses rather than producing them. Perez. Nice bit of skill. Lucevic. Trying to evade Risciuto. It's easier said than done. And so another chance wasted. Or snuffed out, depending on which side of the ledger you're looking at this game. This This is the piece of silverware Rockdale missed out on last season. They thought it was theirs after winning the premiership by 7 points. They're looking to make amends. Spirit have been the roadblock in everybody's way this season. They have beaten every team in the competition. No other side has done that in 2025. Rockdale, even in that campaign of last year where they picked up 72 points, didn't beat all the other 15 teams. Rusevsky trying to measure it for Najjar. Pashevsky was protecting the space as much as the ball. That found its way to Marks. Takami felt the contact and went to ground. It wasn't significant enough for referee Saba to blow his whistle. Just over 10 minutes to play. Elliott. Who's going to take this game by the scruff of the neck? It might be him. Sliding across was Afuka, lending a hand. Position's not important at the moment. If you see, you must act. This late in the game. Are we going to have bonus football tonight? Or will we have a winner inside 90 minutes? Keys. Got Spirit's equalizer just under 10 minutes after they'd fallen behind early in the second half. This Marks is over in cover. Rusevsky has run the best part of 70 yards to try and make something of that ball. Spirit again allowed to build from the back, and a nice ball out from Pashevsky. Takami spinning. This ball has too much on it for Frankie Lucevic. Pressure getting to everyone now. Moment of magic could win it, an error could lose it. Cost your team a spot in the grand final. Or grasp the moment and carry them there on your back. This is the sort of situation where heroes and villains are made. Corey Kavanagh's trying to fit himself into the prior camp. Sorge, who has seen it all before. Making a clean challenge. He wanted the throw as well. Didn't get that decision. So Spirit will go through their process, take their time. Don't know how much space Jordan Perez is going to be given. Big smile as he walks in front of the Illinden support. Gets a pat or two on the back. And a scream and a shout. Who can he pick out? Shuto flying highest. Sorge half away. Afuka trying to create a yard. He's managed to do that. Prosciutto almost playing goalkeeper before Saurus. Right in front of him. And clearing the danger. Orglar dispatching of Pashevsky in back play. Danzo carrying the ball forward, directing traffic, and Orglar offside. Still no substitutes, but it looks as though Zain Alawala is being readied. He's been one of the most trusted players across a number of positions for David Perkovic this season. And so his fresh legs and game awareness needed now. One more piece of action before he's brought on. Prosciutto ahead of Keys again. Speranza clearing the danger towards Rusevsky. Opened the scoring tonight. His first goal in 9 games. Brilliant challenge from Kavanagh, and then the kick out from Chalakian is going to find him in the book for repeated infringements. Wigan tends to have a word, but those two have taken quite a dislike to one another over the course of the night. Just letting him know about the booking, as though Brendan Chalakian wasn't already aware. So perhaps the coaches have just kept some tricks up their sleeve, knowing this game might well head to extra time. Zain Alawala is the first change of the night. On for Frankie Lucevic, the American. Is at the end of his season. He'll be hoping not. He'll be hoping to be gracing Jubilee Stadium next Saturday night. Reminder, grand final, 6 o'clock. Kick-off. The women's grand final is set after earlier semi-final. Apia into both the men's and women's this season. Women winning by 2-0 over UNSW. The same scoreline their men would repeat in the afternoon. Their victory over Marconi. So Halualia has gone into midfield, just a like-for-like switch. Has been used as a wing-back at different times over the course of the season by David Perkovic. Came to the club as a wide player from Manly United. He's one of the best athletes in this Spirit side. Wigan's got to be careful because, well, at the very least, Ali Orglar was going to do that, and that has rather upset Wigan. Eric Subbers over there. Orglar has already been booked, so he doesn't want to get dragged into any afters. Wigan has been quite fired up over the last 10 or 15 minutes. Some instructions being handed out by David Perkovic to Jordan Perez. Spirit allowed again to build from the back, to the frustration of Paul D. He's barking at the edge of the technical area.
Chris, you need to coach that moment more. Turn out, play you. Got him!
Rockdale continue to try and find Danzo in those sorts of situations. He's the man that can get them out of trouble. Smart as always from Simon Nicholas. Going to be in contention for Team of the Year honours. Those are handed out. Has not missed a start for David Perkovic this year, either as a centre-back or as a left wing-back. Another example of a player who has grown into his role over the last couple of seasons with David Perkovic. Jordan Perez wanted to go quickly, didn't have any options upfield, much to his frustration, as you heard.
Hey, get off! Back line up! Back line up!
This long throw from Perez. Wigan just left the ball behind. Just trying to come up with something clever. Cornwall for Pashevsky, and now it's his turn to just in playing out from his own end. Constable can start the drive forward. Najjar now. Nicholas again. Wasn't at his best in the first half. He's been superb in the second. The Constable, who got the attack started, unfortunately provides its end as well. Extra time well and truly on the cards now. 3.5 minutes of regular time to play. As has been the case all night, there's been very few stoppages. Wouldn't expect too much time to be added on at the end of the 90. Bonus football on Sunday night. Unless someone can find a late winner, and you have to think if either team does score now, it will be just that. Chances has just gone out of the game in the last 15 or 20 minutes. It's been a real arm wrestle. Fatigue has got into the legs of the players. Not to Valley Orglar, though, who beats Cornwall to the ball. Needs support, though.
Top of the box, Corey, left shoulder.
A little slower in coming. Speranza eventually got there. He's got Alawala in his back. Can he wriggle his way out of this situation? Difficult for Orglar to try and shape something in there. Nicholas sweeps it away. He's trying to turn. Rashuto blocks him off. Spirit calling for a booking. Eric Saba's been pretty lenient in terms of when he's been handing them out.
It was one. Are you joking? The other fucking guy was up here. You're allowed to be wrong. It's okay to be wrong. You just say, hey, no, fucking I don't know what the ref called. You're allowed to be.
Now it's Luca Falcone who's leading the protests from a Spirit perspective. Just been rotating both technical areas about who's having words with the referee. Well, the fourth official, I should say. Matt Harris has borne the brunt of it this evening. Perez.
Keep moving the ball.
Is there going to be another late winner from Spirit at Christie Park? Seem only fitting. Perez, not quite.
Next action.
just running out of room.
Front foot, Spirit, front foot.
Rockdale have still not made a substitution. These players have been through now 180 minutes of football over the last 5 days.
Perez behind you, Perez behind you.
On the bench should Pani Nikas turn there. James Nikolovsky, Jeriska Tardis, Ollie Puflick, Chris McStay, Matt Karimolevsky, as well as Ronan Mulgrew, who's all too familiar with this ground after he was brought on here a couple of months ago. Najar might just be one of those feeling a little bit of fatigue in his legs. Terrific first half, terrific in the elimination final. How much more has he got to give? He's had to do a lot of tracking back tonight as well, because Jordan Perez is one of those players who just loves to gallivant forward. Say the same of Ollie Wigan, who's gone to that wing. Corey Kavanagh has gone down, stretching himself out for cramp. So Spirit might be looking towards a second change very shortly. They're continuing without no central midfielder for the moment. That ball's gone so high it's almost gone above the lights. Switch the second bite, more effective. Finding a way out through Najar. Chalakian was bundled over, but no free kick. Another player taken off the ball. Keys has found himself in an area to run and brought down Rashuto as he pursued the football towards the byline. 4 minutes to be added on at the end of the 90. Corey Kavanagh's well-being, having a check might mean even a little bit more than just the 4 minutes. Jake Chidiak is being readied. Made just the 4 starts this year. He was starter of 25 last campaign, and he's actually just putting his bid back on. Corey Kavanagh is going to try and continue, I think, at least until full time. Then reinforcements might be called for in the extra 30 minutes. Soros picks out Chalakian, who has enough time to bring it down, hoist it forward, headed away by Pashevsky. Rockdale have the throw right on halfway. Well, it's taken as much energy out of the supporters, the players. It's just an eerie quiet that has descended over Christie Park, which has been so noisy all evening. Such terrific turnouts at this ground over the Premiership run, really, since the win here over Mount Druitt, the Tribe Day where all the juniors were out. It's absolutely heaving that day. It's pretty close to that tonight. You can see the far fence lined with people unable to be accommodated on the near side. Kavanagh's back on his feet, lofting that one forward towards Keys. He's still chasing down lost causes. Elliott made sure it didn't become a cause worth taking hold of, and the yellow card is out for Zayn Alawalia. Massive coming together between Urasevsky and Pashevsky. Alawalia was searching for... In fact, it's, Chalakian who's gone down. And Alawalia was looking for him. He took his eyes off the ball. That's why Eric Saba was so quick to his pocket. He might have inadvertently taken out Jamie Pashevsky as well, because he tumbled over the top of Chalakian. He'd already left his feet. Chalakian's fall meant that he fell very, very awkwardly indeed. Just getting a confirmation, it is Zayn Alawalia who's been booked for that. It was more than a body check on Brendan Chalakian, who was very keen that he didn't get a jump at that ball. And you feel that's the moment that's going to take us into extra time here. This is a real worry, though. Jamie Pashevsky is not looking in a good way. He's barely moved. The free kick is Rockdale's. Pashevsky was really taken out inadvertently because he'd left his feet. He was in the air, and Chalakian had fallen underneath him. Nothing he could do about it. It all stemmed from Alawali's check on Rockdale's number 10. Something that belonged in ice hockey. So now Spirit have a ball about to be sent into their penalty area. And their centrepiece of the central defender is not there to anchor the back line. So Alawalia and Cornwall are going to have to take responsibility along with Nicholas and Perez. An uncomfortable moment for the Spirit support. Chalakid is back to his feet and ready to take the set piece. He's searching for Ashuto, who climbed Tyes but was offside. Looks over at the assistant in disbelief. Into a war of words with Simon Nicholas. This has got a real bit of feeling about it now, this game. We are past the allotted 4 minutes. That's no surprise given we've had 2 injuries during injury time. Both teams look a little resigned to the extra 30 minutes now. Chris Marks indeed taking his time over the free kick. Takami and Speranza had hold of each other. Alawalia, as Rashuto flew out again. Speranza with the trademark header. Robbie, that is. That's as close to a foul throw as you'll see at this level of the game. You could hear the appeals from the Illinden support, but what they thought of it. Brilliant tackle from Sworge. Keys has stayed down on the back of it, holding an ankle. Eric Saber's just having a look over. His team are continuing without him for the minute. Alawalia, I know there's only a couple more chances they'll get before extra time. Elliott. Smothered by Perez, who goes right through him. And Eric Saber brings the 90 minutes to a close. Not the game, though, because we are locked at 1 apiece. Aleka Risevski has got the albatross off his neck and scored for the first time in 9 games. He did that just after the break to give Rockdale Illinden the lead. You have to say they deserved it on the balance of play, really, during the first half. But Spirit fought, scrapped, battled, and found an equalizer less than 10 minutes later. Takumi Afuka's quick footwork in the penalty area drew the challenge. Andre Takami had his penalty saved initially by Nick Soros. Harry Keys was quickest to the rebound to slide home his 4th goal of the year. Most important yet, and it means we've got 30 minutes bonus football coming for you from Christie Park. Most of you will be aware, but just a reminder, if you're not, 15 minutes each way, be no real break between the referee's whistle for half-time in this period. Really just a stoppage to switch sides. We'll see how Rockdale run out this game now. Off the 90 minutes they played on Wednesday night against Blacktown City, it was a game they controlled in its majority. Certainly wouldn't have taken as much out of them as Marconi's effort did against Sydney United in an absolute thriller. Went all the way to penalties. But Spirit have just had that week off. And is that going to make all the difference? Last instructions being taken on. Funny Nikas is right at the middle of it all. Having a chat with Nick Soros, his goalkeeper. And you can see the 2 captains, Risevski and Cornwall. It didn't come together quite as much in the second half as they did in the first. They're almost attached to the hip for the opening 45 minutes. Risevski evaded him to open the scoring. And so we are no closer to learning who will be playing in the 2025 NPL New South Wales Grand Final. Spirits readying themselves for a tilt at the Australian Championship as well. That is far and away over the horizon at the moment. This next half hour to take them to an historic grand final. For Rockdale, a chance at redemption from a year ago. Record-breaking premiers, highest points total over the 30-game season in its 3 iterations now. They fell 17 points short of that effort this year, which has seen them have to go through the elimination final route and travel up to Macquarie to play this all-important preliminary final. My name is Alex Molchanov, along with you for 30 more minutes, plus penalty kicks if we need them. It's already been a long night. It's only about to get more topsy, more turvy. Fasten the safety belts. Committee have just fallen silent for a moment. That won't last long. Spirit fans that have found their voice over the course of the 90 minutes. They didn't have much to cheer about in the opening half. And there's very strong discussions happening down below us about the award of the penalty to Akumi Afuka. I can only say from the one look we had it up here, there was certainly contact. It's right on the edge of the area. That's all it needs to be for a penalty to be awarded, and Eric Saba was certain. He took no time at all in making the decision, had a very good view. It's been a difficult night for the referees. Sure they would have expected that coming here because of the occasion, because of the enormity of this game for both teams. So much riding on it. Everybody wants to be involved in a grand final. A big stadium like Jubilee on that gorgeous playing surface in front of their fanatical fans. 30 minutes to go. Spirit to kick off. Rockdale fans bet in another roller coaster. They have ridden it with their team all year. From Grant Cornwall, Spirit just looking to pin Rockdale in their own half. Still no substitutions from Pani Nikas and Paul D. They're leaving it to the 11 they sent out. That said, just the one change from Spirit's perspective as well. Zain Alawalia for Frankie Lucevic. Rusevski, gorgeous ball to jar! It took less than a minute! For the second time tonight, Rockdale leads. And Najjar makes amends for the chance he missed on 10 minutes. It's taken more than an hour for a second one to come, but he wasn't about to turn it up. Slides the ball under marks. And Rockdale are favourites for a spot in the grand final again. Rusevski scores the first. He's the architect for the second. It wouldn't be a Rockdale Illinden story without Rusevski at the heart of it. And Moody Najjar. Has his name written in the history of this football club now. If that's the goal to take them through. If. A long, long way to go. And suddenly this will become a very long 29 minutes or so for the Illinden support. But if they can hang on, they'll be back in the grand final again with RPL Leichhardt waiting. Well, a game that had fizzled out in the 90 minutes, it has sprung right back to life at the start of the extra 30 minutes. Rockdale looking for redemption, looking for a bit of revenge for the defeat they suffered here during the regular season. Spelled the beginning of the end of their premiership defence. They're trying to make it the launching pad for a second shot at the championship. Chalakian. It's the player of the first half, and he's sliding and slaloming his way towards goal. Perez down in cover, wearily returns to his feet. He and Wigan have got through probably the worst work of anyone out there. Those wing-backs entrusted with so much responsibility, getting up and down, attacking and defending. David Perkovic demands that of the players in those positions. We feel a second goal and Rockdale have 1 foot in the grand final. Pashevsky rises to clear. Lofted in. Oh! Well, Ali Orgla saw Moody Najjar slide his way into Rockdale history and thought, well, I might just try and give our fans a highlight. They appreciate the effort. And now it's the Illinden fans providing the soundtrack here at Christie Park. Spirit looking to silence them, but we feel it might just be doubly difficult this time around. They found their way out of bigger holes this season, but this is a Rockdale team right at the races, full of enthusiasm, appetite for the fight. They're going to make sure they don't throw too many numbers forwards. Bafuka bending that ball in, Rashuto down. We wanted the free kick, it wasn't forthcoming from Eric Saba. Rashuto still down. Okay to recover. Harry Keys having a word. Not sure whether he's checking on the well-being of Blake Rashuto. Pashevsky. Spirit, the great survivors. Can they escape again? Keys. Swords got the last touch. Here's their first chance to strike back. The juniors finding their voice, trying to drive their team back into this game again. We wondered whether the tired legs might cost Rockdale. Still might, but they started extra time the quicker. Perez trying to provide an answer, and Soros, it was catching practice. The call from the Rockdale technical area is for them to go. It wasn't the best judged bit of distribution from Soros, though. Nicholas can send the ball straight back forwards. Pashevsky trying to play as a hold-up man, having stayed forward from the corner. Alawalia ducking his way out of trouble, away from the attention of Orgla. Perez lets it run for Wigan. Fuka was trying the flick, and Sorge coming across, and Perez flies in. Pleads his innocence. I'm not sure whether it was that or the challenge, but one or the other has not impressed the referee, and so he finds his name in the notebook of Eric Saba. Fitness of Jordan Perez, quite remarkable. He's found himself basically on the opposite end of the pitch, airing forward to try and keep the ball up Spirit's attacking end. He's bought himself a yellow ticket because of it, but can't question the application. Just a little overzealous there. Sorge and Rashuto again. The dynamic duo at the heart of Rockdale's defence.
Go up, Ollie, go up! Ollie, go up! Go up, Ollie!
2022, the last time we had a Premier not make it to the grand final. Funnily enough, that's only 2 final series ago. Sydney Olympic, who had to lose 2 games back then. You're only going to lose 1 now in the new finals format. Went out in straight sets to Manly United and Blacktown City, who contested the final. David Perkovic is going to his bench again. Looks like it's going to be Charlie Broomhead, the youngster. Spent most of the season down in the under-18s. It's been rapid rise to first team football. Will he be the one to stand up to the pressure? About halfway through the first 15 minutes of extra time. Chalakian fighting for the ball, letting out a cry as he knocked it forward. Spirit trying to spring forward and counter-attack again. Afuka just holding it up. Didn't have enough support forward of him. Spirit building slowly. Alawalia. There's a few too many flicks like that. Second bite of the cherry was better from Takami. And a lovely switch from Afuka. Wigan. Down he goes rather more gently than Afuka's, which got Spirit their first equaliser tonight. Contact was there, but Wigan initiated it rather than the other way around. Rockdale supporters driving on Alec Urasevsky. Shrugged off the little bit of tightness in his back he was showing earlier. Keys trying to use his pace. Gave Soros a headache, but he thumped the ball clear to get rid of it. Clarity of mind tonight from Nick Soros has been pretty impressive. Saved a penalty, although the rebound was eventually knocked in. There's a feeling amongst Rockdale that if he'd been fit for the game here during the league, it might have well had a different outcome. But he might have to face up to another shot here. Afuka. Keys got the first equaliser. Still trying to wriggle away from Moody Najjar. Spirit wanted a free kick. It wasn't coming. And Alec Urasevsky is down now, holding at the back of a leg. I wonder whether that's the end of his night. Rockdale's first change might be an unenforced one. He's trying to stretch it out. His team defending with 10 for now. Desperate piece of defending. And now Chalakian's down as well. They're falling like flies. The Illinden Stars. Spirit preparing for a corner, but they'll have to wait. The stoppage provides time for Spirit to make a change. Jordan Perez, his night is over. Said he'd given heart and soul. I think the legs might just have given out. And Charlie Broomhead moves into that left wing back position, or is he going to sit centrally? We'll see once Spirit retake their structure. Illinden now readying the first of their substitutes right on 100 minutes. 5 minutes to go in the first half of extra time. Moody Najjar has given Rockdale the lead after less than a minute of the additional 30. Can Spirit respond again? They've made a good habit of it this season. Near post, and Soros has caught everything that has been near his 6-yard box tonight. It's been a very impressive display of goalkeeping, although Spirit will wonder quite why the ball keeps being delivered so close to him. Chalakian gives Broomhead his first test and rolls away from him. Najjar. That is a win for Rockdale at the moment, and their supporters know it. They'll bring on some fresh legs to run out the game. They're in no rush to take the throw. Looks like a trio of substitutions coming. Chris McStay, Jerry Skatadis, and Ollie Pufflet are all ready to go. It's the same trio of substitutes they brought on late in the second half against Blacktown City on Wednesday. But first a throw. Nearly fell for a shoot though. Pashevsky clearing. Urasevsky happy to let it run. And you can see Urasevsky motioning to his back. He doesn't want to test it any further. And knowing that the throw is going short rather than long, Rockdale are happy to make a change. I think it's the end of the road for Urasevsky. Constable the first removed. Braden Sorge will take the armband. Urasevsky might have just dragged Rockdale Illinden back to the grand final. His team are going to have to see off about 17 minutes without him, but it's been another sparkling display. And it's going to extend Rockdale's season a little longer. Brendan Chalakian takes his bow as well. Illinden hoping the need to attack is over. Orglar was trying to find something creative, couldn't quite find his way through a maze of yellow. That was David Perkovic. Move the ball. Short, sharp, that's what they need now. Wigan spinning away from Orglar, didn't have any help upfield. Najjar playing as the hold-up with Urasevsky removed. McStay. Najjar lets it run, and Orglar is well and truly onside. Tried to be unselfish, and Marks reeled it in at the second attempt. And the release is not bad either. It's put Afuka into a dangerous position, running forwards. Sorge dealt with it beautifully. Not the most orthodox bit of defending, but it was just enough. Lovely release from Chris Marks. Spirit will try and win the ball back up high. Remember, they started extra time by just hoofing the ball out for a Rockdale goal kick. Now, this is a spectacular effort from Najjar. I think it was a shot rather than a ball in behind for Orglar. He's a bit frustrated at that. Marks goes long. Prosciutto strong. But the ball comes straight back at his defence. He and Sorge between them sorted it out. Alawalia. Kavanagh. Another gorgeous ball. Broomhead took on Elliott and won the free kick. This time it is outside the box, but Hunter Elliott's name is going to be taken. So similar to the passage of play which brought the penalty for Takumi Afuka in the second half of regular time. Ball won back by Kavanagh. And a ball that took out a good half of Rockdale's defence. Elliott got to Broomhead in the nick of time to make sure he couldn't make any further progress. There's another chance to answer for Spirit. Stoppage time in the first half of extra time. Fight in the wall for Saurus. Kavanagh and Afuka, the two entrusted. We've seen Afuka do this against Rockdale before, from this sort of range, in Wollongong colours last season. As the Japanese midfielder, Saurus saw it all the way and punched clear without the need to dive. And Rockdale sprint clear of their defensive half. Brave piece of defending from Elliott, who's taken a knock amongst it all, and Eric Saber is forced to stop play because there is worry about a head injury. To the frustration of Spirit, undoubtedly, but it's the referee's responsibility to stop play there. Everybody gathers in again. Spirit set to have the drop ball. You can hear David Perkovic saying that. Hunter Elliott is the one down on the turf. Just a bit of a clash of heads, whether it was actually with the Spirit player's head or not. I'm not sure. Elliott doesn't care. He's feeling worse for wear because of it. Jake Chidiac has been called over about 2 or 3 times, so ready to be brought on. Still, he must wait his turn. Spirit are going to get a drop ball. Andre Takami's just negotiating its whereabouts. As Rockdale get their defence set. He's happy just to hoist it in. Jerry Skatardis, his first touch since coming on, is to clear the danger. Cornwall. It's a dangerous ball towards Pashevsky. Sorge got in front of him, and that is the first 15 minutes of extra time finished. Rockdale took less than one to find the opening goal of the extra period. Mudinajar sliding the ball under the onrushing Chris Marks after being fed through by an Alec Urasevsky through ball. He's now been taken off along with Brendan Chalakian. Eric Saba's going to allow the two teams just to take on some water and an instruction or two. It's now or never for Spirit. 15 minutes to go to save their season, to save their chance of going to an historic grand final. They haven't been to one since 2009. Premiers in 2015, but fell short of the grand final. Down in what was then NPL 2. They have never been to a grand final in the top tier of New South Wales football. This is only their third season at this level. They are the premiers over 30 rounds. But this is the big occasion. Can they step up and save it again? Has been a change. At the break, and Jake Chidiak is finally out there for David Perkovic. He's going to have 15 minutes to try and wrangle something. There are fresh Spirit legs everywhere. Have they got the calmness of mind? Chris McStay loves open little passages like this. Pufflet got just one goal all season. McStay thumps it towards goal, deflected behind off Nicholas in the opinion of the referee. Situations like this good enough now for Rockdale. A third goal of the night would be a nice little cherry on top. Way to release the pressure and celebrate, but it's not necessary now. And so they hold back from throwing quite so many numbers forward. They're still looking as though they're going to deliver this into the area with only 4 players in there to aim for. That's what McStay does. Didn't beat Alawalia at the near post. Speranza. In fact, it was Orgla up there. Now Speranza. For Orgla. It's been this left flank that's been so dangerous for Rockdale all night. Speranza lost his footing at the vital moment. Sorge, the Swiss Army knife. He's there again. McStay forward. Najar thought he'd stolen a march on Pashevsky. Still might. Just enough in the legs for Jamie Pashevsky to knock it back to Marks. Rockdale fans counting down the seconds. But Spirit have all the football. Pufflet. It was a rugby tackle on Simon Nicholas. Just to halt the momentum. Alawalia trying to dictate terms. Broomhead. Nice first touch. Darted inside. Didn't get the return pass though. Pashevsky. The moment it would be if he could find the equalizer. And McStay went down after Afuka got to him just a moment too late. Hunter Elliott has left it all out there this evening. Been part of the little scraps and to and fro's. But his defensive work for a youngster, and he is still that. Third full season in first grade football. Shevsky just knocking Pufflet off it. Wigan was searching for Ashuto. He knew he'd be there. He won the header. Chidiak. Alawalia with a misplaced pass. This could be a position from which Rockdale can break. Nice little link up between Orglar and McStay. Speranza just playing keep ball now. It's lovely stuff from Rockdale, it really is. Danzo's technique just let him down for a moment. Still it comes back to McStay. Ball seems to be finding him like a magnet. Orglar, too much on the cross. Can Najjar keep it in? He's the hero at the moment. It's his goal that separates the two teams. His first season with the club, he wasn't part of the Premiership campaign, although it was thought he would be before securing a move to the third division over in Korea. He's going to get a taste of grand final action as long as Rockdale can hold on for 10 more minutes. McStay, gorgeous feet. And getting it back off Speranza. What an asset he is for Paul D and Pani Nikas off the bench. Speranza turning it over. Just don't have enough numbers forward, do they, at the moment, Spirit? Wigan was isolated. Skatadis for Najjar, and getting it back. Scored here a few weeks ago. His first Rockdale goal, Jerry Skatadis. Orglar getting an all-A for the step over. And Skatadis with a little bit too much on the through ball. Not quite sure who we'd identified, but didn't find anyone in red and black. Nicholas Long, cut out by Speranza. It's nail-biting stuff. Alawalia. Orglar has had some night, and he's run out the 90 minutes as well. Well, the 120 minutes, I should say. After a full slate on Wednesday as well. Spirit bursting forward through Takami, but he turned it over. Rashuto in the way. Marks playing sweeper. Pufflet giving Nicholas a headache. Stumbled, fell, regained his footing. Found Pashevsky. He's trying to stride forwards. A little overzealous. Spirit with a free kick from which to base themselves. Kaya Williams to be introduced. It's the end of the night for Ollie Wigan. He won't be the hero this evening. He has been a few times for Spirit this year. Spirit still searching for their hero. Alawalia trying to give someone the opportunity. Cornwall striding, stretching, but it was in vain. Spirit not quite throwing caution to the wind yet. A second goal for Rockdale would knock them out. Second of extra time, that is. Third of the night. A tick past 7:30. This game kicked off 2.5 hours ago. Been a long and dramatic evening. Is there one last twist in the tail? Rockdale hoping not. And just delaying things to make sure that there isn't another unforeseen change in the status quo. Dominated the first half, got their reward at the start of the second, and then were reeled back 10 minutes later. Najjar's goal, a minute into extra time, separates the two teams. McStay's there. He was offsides. Marks did well to smother. He's had one of his better nights, Chris Marks, despite being beaten a couple of times. They pile numbers forwards, chasing the equalizer. Pashevsky with a couple in his back. Rashuto was attached to him like a leech. Wouldn't let go. Won the header. Nicholas directing traffic. It's last chance saloon for Spirit FC. Williams. Swords just made sure that Keys couldn't jump for it. Gave Saurus a lane through which to claim. What a night he's had. This is the sort of occasion they signed him for. Oh, of course, as I say that, bit of distribution was very untidy. Thankfully, it found McStay rather than anyone wearing yellow. Pashevsky's almost playing as an auxiliary forward now. Takami went route one. Williams was screaming for it inside him. Brimhead was trying to roll his way past Najjar, couldn't do it. Spirit forced to reset one more time. Cornwall. For Pashevsky. Oh, and there was no third man run. Ball was beautifully judged for him from Cornwall. But the fatigue of the 115 minutes just starting to show. Spirit hope it leads to a Rockdale error. But Sorge and Rashuto have looked pretty assured back there. Rashuto again blocking the knock-on from Keys. Twice their player of the season. Might be in the conversation again. I know Rasevsky will be the favourite, given the golden boot. But Rashuto has made a world of difference since coming into the back line. Orglar with a great run, and Pufflet's offside. He was looking across the line as well, Ollie Pufflet. Well, funny, at the start of the year, this is what we expected. Rockdale starting centre halves pairing to be. Matt Karemalewski and James Nikolovsky both being ready. Simon Nicholas, one of the favourites here, is at the end of his NPL New South Wales season. He's hoping not. Removed for young Ben Duro. Called up from the under-18s. The under-16s player of the season last year. Rockdale have been thinking about the change to bring on Nikolovsky and Karemalewski. They're just being delayed here. And now it's being allowed. So Nikolovsky makes his way on in place of Giorgio Speranza. And Karemalewski as well. So essentially four centre halves out there now for Rockdale. Karemalewski looking as though he's playing almost as a screener in front of the back line. Rashuto battling for it with Pashevsky. And it was the Rockdale heartbeat who got the final touch. They couldn't do it again, could they? And Eric Saba just calls for a hold because the ball is a blade of artificial turf outside the quarter circle.
Higher! Talk to Ben! Talk to Ben! Help him out!
Takami, there's not too many chances left for Spirit. There's a wrestling match taking place in front of Saurus between Najjar and young Giroux. On they go. Ball's fired deep. There's bodies everywhere. Saurus came a long way. Williams! Was it over the line? No! Brilliant block. Spirit were that close to another equalizer. A blur of red and black on the goal line keeps Kaya Williams' strike out. scored his first ever senior goal against Rockdale here last year. That one would have been even more memorable. Alawali's delivery, headed down by Chidiak, not with enough power to trouble the goalkeeper or even reach him. Misjudged clearance though. McStay with an athletic clearance. Marks just hoists it high. Pashevsky's going to make a nuisance of himself. He runs right into Soros. And a very easy decision for the referee. He'll take a shove or two for his troubles from some of the former teammates. So how much time to be added on at the end of all of this? The committee think Illinden might just be there. Jubilee Stadium beckons to them. Got a 2-2 draw with Olympic on their visit there this year. They'd like to go one better against RPL Leichhardt. They've got a minute or so to secure their place. Prodded forward by Skotadis. Cornwall high. Nikolovsky made some sort of clearing header. It didn't have a lot of distance. Brumed, two of the fresh sets of legs as he faces up to Karemalevsky. And his pressure is enough to put off Alawalia. Pufflet wins a throw. 3 minutes to be added on. To some boos from the Illinden support, but most of them are cheers. The drum is beating. The fans are singing. Karemalevsky's been influential since coming on. A small part, but an important one at the end of this preliminary final. He wants to play in a first ever grand final in the top tier of NPL football. Pashevsky headed back rather than forwards. Karemalevsky clears. It's all red and black in the middle of the pitch. Skotadis. Orglar lost his footing. Chidiak driving through midfield. Went backwards rather than forwards. Gorgeous turn from Chidiak. And then the pass behind Giroux. To applause from the travelling support. Najjar, whose goal has made the difference. He thumps it into Cornwall, and that's a win for Rockdale at the moment. Into the second minute of the 3 that were indicated by the fourth official. Paul D watching on, as he did a year ago at the Illinden Sports Centre. This team got the job done coming from behind. They've led from the front tonight. They'll peg back once. It's meant an extra half hour's work. They won't care about that if they can hang on. Karemalevsky. McStay. Williams in the way. He's come closest to finding an equalizer for Spirit. Joining into the defensive efforts. Nikolovsky, whether inadvertent or not, has managed to win the throw for his team. Takumi Ifuka's equalizer seems a long time ago for Spirit FC fans. Rockdale taking every second they're allowed over this throw. Alawalia lost it in the air, hit him on the back and found Cornwall. Again, Grant Cornwall. Young Juru. Keys, who got Spirit's equalizer, lashes out at Elliott, concedes the free kick. And Rockdale are there. Their redemption run goes all the way to the grand final. They were made to work so hard. Dominant in the first half, got their reward early in the second, but then they were pegged back from the penalty spot, or at least the rebound, as Harry Keys struck, and then Moody Najjar in the first minute of the extra 30 made the difference. Uriseski at the centre of it all, opening the scoring and then setting up the winner. And last year's premiers knock off this season's Spirit's fairy tale run ends here. An Australian Championship campaign ahead of them, but no grand final glory in 2025. The Illinden fans will sing long into the night. They'll sing all the way down to Kogarah again. Right in the heart of their area, of this famous city. So, it's set. The grand final next Saturday night, 6 o'clock. Apia Leichhardt versus Rockdale Illinden. A rematch of the 2024 Waratah Cup final. It's been a pleasure to bring you all the highs and lows, the roller coaster ride of this grand final qualifier from Christie Park. Spirit shattered. They fought so hard, but they fall one step short. For Rockdale relief, a chance at redemption on Saturday night. Alex Molchanoff signing off from Macquarie Park, from Christie Park, which has been turned red and black tonight. The final score after extra time, Rockdale Illinden 2, Spirit FC 1.